Today we will going to discuss about the topic that is extension education. See, extension education is not a new subject. It is related to the education, but whenever we want to transmit the information or disseminate the information to the farming community, they require say extension. Our subject is related to agriculture, so we are using how this extension education is helpful in dissemination of the technology to the farming community. The same concept could be used in other field with respect to their technology. Now we will see in detail about how this extension education helps us in dissemination of agriculture information and what are the things to be known and what are the important concept about this will be discussed in this session. Now, before going actually for the extension education, one must has to know that what is education, because the extension education in a word, there are two words. The one is an education and another one is extension. So education is a word which we are using commonly in our day-to-day life. So first we will see what is education. So whenever we are telling about the education, education is a part and parcel of extension. See, this education is very essential for each and every individual, mainly to produce a desirable change in the human behavior. See, we can able to identify the people who are educated and who are illiterate based upon their behavior with respect to a particular situation. So we will go in, the educated people can think and they can modify their behavior and they can come out with their desirable behavior with respect to a particular situation or with respect to a particular problem. That is called as a education. So when we are telling about the education, education is helping us in bringing about the change in their knowledge, and along with that it helps in changing their skills, and another one is change in their attitude. So the education is a process which helps in developing a capability of an individual so that he can able to behave adequately or respond to a situation in a proper manner. So whenever we are telling education is very essential, which will going to shape the personality or the behavior of an individual in a particular situation. Now we will see the different types of education. The first and foremost type of education is informal education. The informal education is nothing but the education which we are getting in our day-to-day life, and we are learning the things from our day-to-day activities. So it is a lifelong process of acquiring the information in terms of the knowledge, skill, or attitude, or insight into a daily experience. For example, when we are not exposed to the people in a hostel situation, when we come to an hostel, we will learn that how to behave with a group of people in a hostel. And when we were in a home and we have grown up from primary school to middle school and from middle school to high school, our situation will be different and we will behave and learn so many things. And we always trust a people and we don't know the some of the cunning nature of the people, but based on our experience we will going to learn that it will be like this and I have to behave in such a manner when I am dealing with a such type of people. And for example, when I am cooking, if something goes wrong, based on my experience I am going to learn that this is the wrong thing has happened and I should not do it in the next way. These are the things, the small things and the sometimes the huge things which we are learning in our day-to-day life. We are dealing with so many things, and that is teaching us the many things. That is called as a informal education. And the next comes is the formal education. The formal education is the type of education which we are undergoing in nowadays. That is nothing but an institutionalized education where you are chronologically graded and you are hierarchically structured, and you are going to give a certificate of your education, that is a degree certificate, or as soon as you complete one grade or one level of education, that will be certificate will be issued to you. And it is hierarchically arranged because it is moving from the lower primary till to the university or postdoc, like that. That is what is the formal education, that what we are learning in an institution or in a college, university, primary school, like that. And the last type of education is a non-formal education. To this category, the extension education will fall. See, extension education is a type of non-formal education. Here, the non-formal education is, it is well organized. It It is not a type of informal education. It is, we are learning informally, but it is a well organized and systematically planned educational activities which is carried out outside the framework of institutional structure. But it is providing the information to a people without any restrictions or without any curriculum or without any rigid system. They are going to educate the people and they are giving the information for a particular learning things. It may be a subgroup of population or maybe for the adult as well as children. According to their need, the education will be given. That is nothing but a non-formal education. The good example for this is the literacy mission. When the people want to educate, our literacy mission was started by Government of India, where they use the main intention of educating. That mission is to give a minimum education to the people. But there was no restriction for the age, sex, place, everything was not restricted. So this is a non-formal education. But the literacy mission was well organized and well structured, and that is suitable for a particular category of the people based on their need. That is what is the extension education, and that falls under non-formal education. Now we will see what is the difference between the formal education and the extension education. When we are telling about the formal education and the extension education, the formal education, what we are telling it as the institutional education, where it is confined to the premises of the institution. That means you have to go to school and you should learn. Whereas in extension education, it is outside the four wall of institution. They may take you to the field and they will show you the pest and diseases or the cultivation aspects, and the farmers will be taught in the field only. And whereas in a formal education, all the learners are homogeneous. That means when you are reaching the age of 6, you will be in the first standard. When you are 15, you will reach to the 10th standard. That is what the homogeneous group. Whereas in case of extension education or the non-formal education, the learners are heterogeneous. There is no homogeneity in them. Because I have told that there may be from different age group, sex may be there, or from different place, economical status, everything will be there. And here in the formal education, they are strictly adhere to the norms of the institution. Whereas in case of extension education, there is a freedom of choice of subject and there is no strict adherence to the norms. Here the learners will decide what I want to learn. And whereas in a formal education, there is a fixed curriculum, whereas in an extension education, there is no fixed curriculum. That is, syllabus will not be there. Whereas in institutional education, you will be having a syllabus for your particular course. And in the formal education, knowledge flows from teacher to the learner, whereas in extension education, here extension agents acts as a means through which he used to teach the farmer, and along with that he will also going to learn from the farmers, and mutual exchange of the information will going to take place. And in case of formal education, education starts from the theory and works out to the practical. Whereas in case of extension education, it starts from the practical situations and based on that, the theoretical aspects will be developed. Now we will come to the second part of our extension education, that is what is called as an extension. So the education, we came to know what it is, and now we will learn what is extension education. Extension is a term which is derived from a Latin language with a two term, that is ex and tentio. Ex is nothing but out and tentio is nothing but a stretching out. So in a short way, we can define the extension is nothing but an educational system which is stretched out of the four wall of the system, or it is stretched out to reach the people in the rural area which they are very far or near beyond the limit of the educational institution. That means the extension education will going to teach to the farmers or the people who may be far from the institution or the formal system of education, or who may be very near to the formal system of education, but it is stretched out to reach to the requirement of the people and fulfill their needs. Now we will see what is the extension education. The extension education, I have given here one picture. The farmer is a center part, and which includes the education, extension, and the research. So when we want to reach to a farmer, we have to come out with the extension agent who acts as a bridge between the research and the education system. By educating the people, we can come out with the scientists or the extension agents, and the scientists will come out with so many technologies. That technology should reach to the farmers by understanding them, and we should act according to them and transfer the technology to the farmers. That will be done by the extension. See, we must know why this extension education concept has been started. See, we are teaching, and you may become a scientist, and you may come out with some new technologies. But the technology has to reach to the end user. Here, in agriculture, the end user is the farmer. When it has to reach to the farmer, then the technology which is developed by the research station should reach in the same way to the farmer. That will be done by the extension, which acts as the bridge between the research and the farmer. And along with that, the extension system will take the feedback from the farmer, and it will going to give that feedback to the researcher. Based on that feedback, that is based on the need of the farmer, the research will be conducted and technology will be transferred to the farmer. To strengthen these, the research and extension, the education is very essential, and this education will strengthen or gives the skill, and a capacity building will be done, and based on that, the efficiently the technology reach to the farmer. Okay, this is how the concept extension was started. So the extension is the word the previously or the first time originated in England in 1866. For the first time, the extension word was used in England in 1866. The term extension education was first coined in the year 1873 by the Cambridge University in the England. The extension term, once it was evolved, then it was used in education, and the present form of agricultural extension was primarily started in America in 1908. That means the agriculture extension, this concept was applied in agriculture and first time used in America. And this encouragement was done by the Roosevelt, the then president of America, who appointed this Country Life Commission just mainly to study about the migration of the people from rural area to urban area. Nowadays also it is a hot topic of discussion that the youths are migrating from rural area to urban area, so that made the agriculture hampered. So the Roosevelt appointed this Country Life Commission just to study why these youths are migrating from rural area to urban area, and we can able to use the concept of this extension to sustain these youth in the rural area, so that we can able to achieve the development in the agriculture. And in India, the popularity of agricultural extension has been primarily started by F.L. Bryan, and through his the project, that is Gurgaon project, which was started in 1920. He is the Frank Lager Bryan. He has started the given importance or introduced this term, the education or the extension education in India, through his project, that is Gurgaon project, started in Punjab in 1920. So the extension education could be defined in a simple way as a program and a process of helping the village people to help themselves, to increase their production and to rise their general standard of living. Here we can able to see that there are three important concepts in extension education definition. The first one is the helping the people to help themselves. Why it is essential? To increase the production. And the third one is by increasing production, they can improve their standard of living. So you have to remember three important points when you are defining extension education, that is helping the people to help themselves to achieve the improved production, so that they can able to improve their standard of living as per the definition given by S. Minger in 1967. So this word extension was first coined by McCarthy. He was the person who coined the word extension. And Dr. J.P. Liggins is called as a father of agricultural extension for the word, whereas Dr. K.N. Singh is from ICR is called as a father of extension in India. So when we are telling about the extension, it works at two levels. One is education and another one is service. The extension education is nothing but the teaching the people how to do the extension, and the extension service is nothing but actually you are serving the farmers, disseminating the technology by using all the concepts of extension education is that. So when we are telling about extension, it could be done at two levels. One is education and another one is the service. And these two are the important person who are responsible for popularizing the extension education in the world and India. Now we will see what are the objectives of the extension. The first one is assist the people to discover and analyze their problems and identify the felt needs. That is nothing but the extension education helps the farmer to identify their felt needs, and this is based on their problem. Well, the people are having two types of need. One is felt and another one is unfelt needs. That many times the people fail to identify the important needs which are very essential to solve their maximum problems or day-to-day problem. This extension education helps us to identify that felt needs of a problem. And the second one is it helps in developing the leadership among the people. That means, see, when we are able to, when we want to disseminate anything to the people, we cannot contact 100 people at a time. So at that time, we need a leader. So we have to develop a leadership among them such that he acts as a bridge for us, and he will going to disseminate the information among his community people. So this extension education helps in developing a character of leadership. And the next one is it helps in disseminating of research information of economics and practical importance. As I told, the major job of extension is to disseminate the information to the farming community from the research, which is very essential to achieve their improved production. And the next one is it assists the people in mobilizing and utilization of the resources. See, that means they are having lot of resources that has to be used economically and efficiently. How it could be used economically and efficiently will be taught by the extension worker such that they can mobilize and use it efficiently for getting a higher production. And the next one is it helps, as I told, the extension helps us to get the feedback from the farming community. Based on their feedback, we can come out with the solution to the problems they are coming across in their day-to-day life. That means it helps us to get the feedback or to get the needs of the farmer. Based on the needs, the research could be conducted and we can come out with the solution for their problem. So in overall, the important philosophy of an extension education is to teach the farmer how to think, not what to think. That means how you have to think to solve the farmer, not the what you have to think. And then what are the major scope of extension education? The first scope or the importance of extension education is it plays an important role in improving the efficiency of agriculture production. When you give in time information and when we disseminate the technology in time, and farmers will take up the activities in time, which helps us to get a higher production. And the next one is it helps in achieving a better marketing of their agriculture produce, and it helps in utilization and distribution of marketing efficiency, both in terms of agriculture produce and both in terms of inputs required for their agricultural activities that efficiently could able to manage. And this extension education helps the people to conserve, develop and use of natural resources. See, we are having a solar energy, water resources, wind resources, so many natural resources are there. But if you go on using it, it will going to exhaust. But this extension education will help us how efficiently I can able to use it and how I can conserve it for the future generation. And in turn, I can able to achieve the sustainable production and improved production. And the next one is it helps in management of farm and in the home. How I can able to manage the home and a farm together and how I can balance the activities. And it helps in achieving the family living. That means it could helpful in fulfilling the requirement of the family, maybe in terms of food, financially, educationally could be done. Youth development. The extension education helps us in youth development such that we can sustain them in agriculture by giving them a remunerative returns through agriculture. And the next one, it is helps in leadership development, which I have told already, and it helps in community development and rural area development. That means if you could able to achieve the improved production, in turn, it helps in their standard of living. Once the standard of living has been increased, the community development could be achieved very efficiently because of the cash flow among the community. And the next one is public affair. That means it helps in social living of the people in a community. That means social mobility, social activity could be improved, and they could able to have a access to the outside world and contact with the people in the outside world and get the efficient input for them and mobility of them and get the good market for their produce. What are the major functions of extension? As I told, the major function of extension is to bring about the desirable changes in the behavior of the people by means of education. So as I told, the education helps in changing the knowledge. Changing the knowledge is nothing but change what the people are knowing. That means it improves us the knowledge of a people by knowing the many things. And the next one is the skill. The good example for changing in the knowledge is eating mushroom. The many people thinks that the mushroom is a non-veg, it could not be used. But actual science, it is a veg and it helps in improving our health status, gives lot of nutrition. See, that could be changed through this extension. Next is the changing skill. Skill means how efficiently I can do a particular activities. For example, the budding, air layering, cutting, or maybe plowing or nursery preparation. You must have a proper skill in doing it efficiently so that I can get a 100% result. That could be done through this extension education. And the next one is the attitude. Attitude is nothing but a favorableness towards something. So it helps in changing the feeling or reaction towards that. For example, as I told, mushroom only the vegetable people think that it is a non-veg and we cannot able to eat. But once we could able to educate them, it is a veg grown in a paddy straw and having lot of nutrition useful for the diabetics and those who are having the calcium deficiency. The people may change their attitude towards the mushroom and they can able to go for eating it or consuming it. And the next one is change in understanding. Understanding means comprehension. The something has been told by the people, they could not able to logically comprehend or giving meaning, leads to confusion. But this extension education can give a proper understanding of the information so that they can have a positive attitude and get accept it. And the next one is change in a goal. Many times the farmers want to get the result or the yield this year with the minimum expenditure or with available resources. Many times by through extension education, we can tell them you go for integrated farming system such that all the requirement of the family could be done. And if one crop fails, another enterprise or the another crop will going to give him a returns to them. Such that we can change the goal. Instead of getting the yield, it is nothing but a sustaining to get the yield and sustain their family could be changed over a period of time. And the next one is change in confidence. This you know very well, to make the farmer self-reliant. Self-reliant means they should feel that I have to do it rather than forcing them to do that work. And what are the extension educational process involves? Majorly, there are 5 stages involved in extension education process. The first one is situation. Situation means we must know what is actually situation by collecting the fact and analyzing the situation. And the next one is objective. Once we come to know that what actually the fact, why the people are not getting the desirable yield in a particular area, we have to collect the fact. Maybe the old variety, maybe they are not following in time activities. Based on that, my objective is to come out with the improved variety or the hybrid variety that will give them a higher yield or tell them to do the activities in time. That is what is the objective means, what is my target or what I should want to do to improve the community. Next comes is the teaching. I cannot tell them to change the variety immediately. Before that, I have to go them teach. That means I have to give them a knowledge and taught them what are the importance of changing the variety, which is giving them a higher yield. Once the teaching is over, I will make them to accept the technology and practice them, and that determines I have to evaluate. Evaluating that whether my objective has reached, whether I could able to make the people to accept the new variety and to do the activities in time, that I will evaluate. If it is positive, well and good. If it is negative, I have to reconsider it. That is meant entire educational programs are in the light of result of evaluation means if it is successful, I have to use it for my future activity. If it is failure, I have to find out what are the reasons behind it and what could be change made to make the extension process successful next time. And this will make them the extension educational activities more efficient in transferring the technology. Thank you so much. I hope you have understood why extension education is very essential, because if we won't have an extension education, the technology which is developed in a research station or the university will be there only, and it may not reach the farmers in a desired manner or required manner, and we may not get the feedback also. We cannot come out with the need-based technologies for the higher acceptance. So this extension education acts as a bridge, and that will help us to get the information, transfer the technology and information to the farmer efficiently and effectively. Thank you so much, and thanks for listening.